All right, Aztecs fans. Some news I was not expecting today, but obviously the Aztecs are looking for a quarterback because Danny O'Neill has transferred out and he wanted to be closer to home. And so San Diego State, what do? They go out and, according to Kirk Kenny in the UT, they go get a former Michigan quarterback by the name of Jayden Denegal. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. Now, what's going to get attention is that Michigan name, right? Oh, he was a Michigan quarterback. So, wow, that's a great move. But when I read some more here in the UT article, Kirk Kenny, I should say, his article in the UT, it talked about what Denegal did at Michigan, and it wasn't really a whole lot. He didn't get this isn't like his fault, it doesn't seem like. It was just he didn't get consistent opportunities to show that he could be the guy. But if you're good enough to be recruited by Michigan and be on that team and be he was on Jim Harbaugh's roster, like to be there, I assume you've got talent. Um, he threw for over 4,000 yards in high school, Apple Valley High School, almost 70 touchdowns. He rushed for another 14 before going to college. And in college, he was sitting behind first round pick JJ McCarthy, who is obviously with the Vikings. He's hurt, but we know that JJ McCarthy, NFL quarterback, high pick. That's understandable that he sat behind JJ McCarthy. 4 for 5 on pass attempts for 50 yards in, I think, that 2023 season. But him being able to experience being in an elite program, I think, can only be a positive. It can only be a good thing. He says here in quotes about getting to be under Coach Harbaugh, his time there, going against the number one defense in the country every day, playing with one of the best offensive lines and receivers and running backs, first round picks, winning a national championship. I feel like that's helped me prepare for essentially my time now. Harbaugh has praised the dual threat Denegal, saying he throws the ball extremely well and is pretty darn athletic. So there's that. Sean Lewis is obviously Aztec fast offense. Denegal says we're going to put up a lot of numbers. We're going to get some more receivers here, and we're going to throw the ball around the yard. We're going to get running backs, and we're going to tote the pill. I feel confident in myself. I just need to learn the playbook and go out there and show what I can do. So, also what I read here was, here it is. When this past season, the Wolverines struggled to find JJ McCarthy's replacement. They went with 3 quarterbacks under Coach Moore, who replaced Harbaugh, obviously. He was on the staff already the year before. They went with 3 quarterbacks, tried him at the position. Denegal was not one of them, though. He did not play in a game this past season. So that's where I throw up the red flag a little bit. Now, it could be if they would have given him the reps, given him the opportunity, he could have shown some things. So I'm not saying like, oh man, what are the Aztecs doing? Again, I bring up my point earlier. He gets recruited by Michigan, and you have that experience being somewhat apart, in practice with that Michigan program. Yeah, I'm going to give you a chance at San Diego State, especially coming off of this season. And you have an offensive-minded head coach in Sean Lewis, and if he is like this really athletic quarterback, throws the ball extremely well, like Harbaugh has said in the past, then great. So I guess what I'm saying here is I'm intrigued by this. I'm interested. Seems like a good get by Sean Lewis and San Diego State, but I'm not getting my hopes up right now. If this guy, Denegal, ends up being a really good quarterback, I don't even think I'm going to be proven wrong. I just think I'm taking a measured approach. I'm not going one way or the other. I'm not saying this is going to be a great quarterback and he's going to be here for 4 years, or he's going to lead them to a Mountain West title, college football playoff appearance, right? Not saying that. But I'm also not saying that he's going to suck and he's going to, fail. I just want to see him play first. And I want to see him in this offense. And then he is going to compete probably against, he's not just going to be given this. It doesn't seem like that. he's going to compete. Junior returner Kyle Crum. There's incoming freshman J.P. Mielowski. There could be Bert Emanuel Jr., who is the Central Michigan transfer that will be making his official visit over the weekend to San Diego State. But it's another guy that's going to be added to that quarterback room, which is what they needed because you had, 2, 3, I think, quarterbacks transfer out, or at least enter the transfer portal. Danny O'Neal, the Florida State transfer quarterback, and then I think I'm forgetting one other, but they're gone. So you needed to find at least some bodies, and could be an intriguing, interesting body. I see the Michigan name, and I see what he did in high school, and I'm like, okay. And what Harbaugh says here, all right, interested, intrigued, even a little excited. But I've been excited, and this has nothing to do with this guy, but just in the past, I was excited about Braxton Burmeister, transfer from Virginia Tech, and I was like, all right, cool. Maybe we're moving in the right direction. Then he ends up playing on the other side of the ball by the end of the season. I was excited about Danny O'Neal. Sean Lewis has his guy, and they won 3 games. I know O'Neal dealt with injuries and all that, and he was just a true freshman, and usually true freshmen do not start at quarterback D1, and that was the first time that had happened in San Diego State's history. I get it, but still, that was disappointing. So the times that I've gotten excited here recently about a San Diego State quarterback coming in, I end up being disappointed. So I don't want to set the expectations super high on this. It's great that, they were able. I was expecting the Aztecs to land a transfer that wasn't getting an opportunity, definitely obviously not starting opportunity, at a Power 4, now not Power 5, but Power 4 school. That's what I was expecting. You get to live in San Diego. Maybe you can turn around the program and have a shot. Ashton Genty's leaving Boise State. Maybe have a shot. Bring some energy to Snapdragon when it's not soccer matches there and it's San Diego State football, because there is not that excitement right now. Yeah. Okay. Again, intrigued, I think, is a good word to describe my feelings about this, and maybe probably some other Aztecs fans' feelings about this. But let me know your thoughts in the comments on this. Again, his name, Jayden Denegal. I am not acting here that I know a ton about this guy, just reading this Kirk Kenny article in the UT that I will link in the description. He's from California, so cool. He wanted to come back home, take over the Mountain West, and win some games. That's my plan, is what he said. Hopefully he does that. If he does that, that's great. All I know is they got to get this quarterback situation better, in a better spot than what it was at, what it's been at these, past few years, definitely. Win more than 3 games this next season. Actually, not just 3 games, or not just 4 games, but go to a bowl game. I'd like them to win the Mountain West, obviously, but we got to take maybe some smaller steps, walking before we jog, or jog before we sprint.